And in news from Afghanistan, female presenters on local TV stations in Afghanistan on Sunday followed the new Taliban ruling that they must cover their faces when on air. They went on air with faces covered but voiced their frustration as well. Since seizing power in Afghanistan last year, the Taliban have increasingly imposed restrictions on women's lives in recent weeks.
Female presenters on local TV stations in Afghanistan voiced their frustrations on Sunday over a new Taliban ruling that they must cover their faces when on air. Taliban's Ministry of Vice and Virtue named Sunday morning as the final deadline, calling this order mandatory. The ruling was announced last week and comes days after authorities ordered women to cover their faces in public, a return of their past hardline rule and an escalation of restrictions that are causing anger at home and abroad.
واقعا وقتی که گوینده خبر میخوانه و یا هم اطلاع رسانی میکنه باید از هر لحاظ ذهنن یا آرام باشن و حقایق به مردم برسانن. امروزه ساعت 3 ما در ماسک واقعا برنامه را تیر کردیم که در طول زندگی خود قسم برنامه را تیر نکردیم.
Earlier, the U.S. Special Envoy for Afghanistan, Thomas West, said that he and Rina Amiri, U.S. Envoy for Afghan Women and Human Rights, spoke with Taliban's Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi, during which they conveyed unified international opposition to ongoing and expanding restrictions on women and girls' rights and role in society. Meanwhile, as foreign powers have condemned the Taliban's latest rules ordering mandatory face coverings for females, sales of the hijab in capital Kabul are picking up as women in Afghanistan grapple with how the new order would be practically enforced, with some joining protest and others describing their opposition. The consequences of disobedience are aimed at a woman's closest male family member, ranging from a warning to imprisonment. Women's rights made progress after a US-led invasion toppled the Taliban government in 2001, with women getting jobs and proper education. The Taliban says it has changed since its last rule, but in recent months added regulations limiting women's movement without a male chaperone. Older girls are also yet to be allowed back to schools and colleges.